Combo. I love getting a combination of stuff at one low price. A beverage and a couple items. They were delicious. So today, this is my follow-up video for the Getaria Cube Baby combined effects pedal. And it seems like that is that Cube Baby is also the name of a couple of other companies' products. I'm not even going to go down that wormhole. I'm going to just explore the Getaria one. I've spent some time with it, the Cube Baby. Here it is right there. And it's got some really interesting features. I have some other Getaria products. And today I'm going to use this straight into a mixer. And I'm also going to throw it into a couple of amplifiers and just get some quick sound ideas. I found out a few things after messing with this thing for a week. And I actually ended up ordering a second one because I thought that I had broken the switch on this one, but I figured out what I did wrong. And now I have two of these guys, the Getaria Cube Babies. So I want to dig in and kind of get into what it actually does. When you turn it on, you get all the lights. You can see they light up. The first thing that happens is you get the Bluetooth. To turn that off, you can hold these left two buttons for about 2 or 3 seconds. It says that in the manual. Now we have a little less blinky blink going on. But basically, you get your 3 switches, and they're going to coordinate with the different colors of the knobs up here. And as you can see right now, if I change this, you would think that it would turn on. But what I have found out, when it's in these preset modes, in this one of the 3 preset modes, you can't really alter these buttons at that point. You have to kind of let them be. You come up with your preset. You can alter your output, your main output volume right there, but you can't really do too much once you've stored the preset. So to create a preset, you then tap these 2 right buttons real quickly, and you can see right now I'm in my live state, as they would call it. This is if you were using this in a live situation as opposed to a preset mode, I guess. You could use it either way, but you hit one of the buttons to activate the section. So now I can start to actually tweak things, and you can see that mix on the delay will activate whether it's active or not. Once you bring the mix level up, it does actually activate it. And then over here in the IR and cab reverb, they work together off of the one switch. The delay and the mod work together on the one switch. If you put the mods straight up and down, it deactivates the modulation, so you get none of that. The chorus is to the left, and it gets like real warbly real quickly, and then phase would be to the right. And then you have your mix level. You really only get one delay sound, but it's not a bad one. And you get your feedback rates, like how many times it's going to repeat. And then you get your time sensitivity in there. And then you also have the IR cab, which you can turn off. Let's say you're using this into the front end of an amplifier. You would turn your IR cab off. Let's say you're doing something, some recording or something like that, where you actually want that. You could turn the IR on. Maybe you want the IR on into your amplifier. Maybe you've decided that just kind of creates a nice EQ notch for your rig. So it has 9 different presets, and I'll pull those up on the screen here. We can talk all through all this. But it's the same thing over here on the gain. You get a gain section, and you get a tone, you get gain, and then you get the type. So there's really only one main volume on here. So for the price range, compared to like this GT, which is about $250, this thing's about $40 to $50, depending on which brand you buy of a Cube Baby. But this one had a 20% off coupon. So, for a little less than $50, you have 9 different gain pedals, 9 different IR cabinets, of which you can load your own into their software suite. And then you have a reverb, and then you have a delay section, and then you have your choice of either a chorus or a phaser, depending on which way you turn that knob. So you kind of all of a sudden have a combination of things. And then on top of it, you have this Bluetooth connectivity. So let's say you're doing like I'm doing and running this into the mixer that's here behind me. I'll Currently have this going in a little Yamaha mixer back there. So this is basic bare bones kind of look at it. I'll run through the distortion pedal types and how they react with the IR cabs. I haven't downloaded any IR cabs or anything like that. I have accidentally erased, well, maybe not accidentally, I have erased all of the presets that were in there, so you won't hear any of the original tones unless I go and open up that second one. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I have plans for that second one, and we'll see. But yeah, then while you're in this live preset mode, you can activate your settings and then you can manipulate them. So let's say you want to be able to reach down and manipulate your settings. This would be the mode you want to be in. And then the interesting thing is, once you hit these live presets again, you see the blinking stops, and now I can just be in this mode and it's standalone. But as soon as I hit one of these buttons, I've gone back to my presets, the ones that I've actually assigned to these buttons. So let me pop my headphones on and I'll start to do a little bit of live testing with this and just kind of see what the Getaria has to offer. The really cool thing about it is this playback. You got Bluetooth playback. I have my phone synced to it. So if I had the Bluetooth on my phone right now and I turn this back on, that blinking light would turn solid blue and it would be paired to my phone. So anything that I play on my phone audio-wise can go through here. Much like with the GT where you can kind of sync it to YouTube, you have some basic functionality there. With this, you got some start and stop functions. Like I said, this is going to just be a quick listen to the patches, and then I'm going to throw it into a couple of the lanies here behind me and see how it sounds. Okay, so I figured out when you're in tuner mode, it's got arrows and then a stop, what looks like a stop. So you got a left arrow and a left arrow, right arrow, and then a square. And when you're in range of the note, it will go to the square. When you're sharp or flat, it'll show you. You're a little bit flat, a little bit sharp. What it doesn't do a good job of is getting you to whatever string. That's what I don't like about having something like this where it's assigned a string that it thinks it's grabbing. So I've had to take the guitar and tune it up into the GT here. I'm going to pop it back out and do that, finish tuning it up. I really don't recommend this as a tuner. I know we're sitting here talking about combination pieces. First part of the combo unit, the tuner, I am unimpressed with. But that's nothing compared to what this actually has to offer. So as soon as you press one of the buttons, it pulls you back out to the switches, to being able to use your switches into your presets. So. So doing a little messing around with it, I have come up with a few sounds, like I said, that I've stored into different presets. Right now, I'm in the live mode, and this is where I can kind of come up with a sound that I like and then save it to a preset. This is how I go about it, or how you'd go about doing that with this unit. Like I said, you can turn all of these on or off from the foot switch section. The IR and the reverb are linked here. Right now you can see according to the colors, I have some gain going, and I have an IR cab going, and just a touch of delay. So this is the sound that I kind of messed around with and came up with. Kind of thick, maybe, you know, a little brittle. I think there's a certain presence in a lot of these that you can't quite dial out, but once you kind of put it in a mix, it actually bites through pretty well, if you know what I mean. Sometimes that top is something you like to have there, although on its own it can kind of get your ear a little. Plus this is a P90, so it's going to have just a little extra. But basically, you kind of mix and match your IR cab sound with the gain type sound. And as you can see on the actual amp model section, there are, actually I'd said 9 presets earlier, and there are 8 of them, and then a blank, like a no preset. So if you wanted to use it as a pedal board without anything, that would be the preset that you would pull up, number 1. Right now I have, which one do I have here? I think I have the Soldano is what I had pulled up. This thing is a little funny to move with the little rubber. They put these little rubber knobs on it. Yeah, so let me see. No, so this is number 8. It's a 412 RE cabinet, re-cabinet Mesa Boogie Standard. So and then the gain type that I have on it right now, as you can see, there's 9 different gains that you can pick from. I think it's just so hard to tell from the little itty bitty numbers, but I think that this is the one, number 7, Cali JPA. And then Cali JPB would be number 8. Higher gainy, a little more mid-rich. And then Gas Station Clean. Gas Station Clean, you know. And then you got Cali JP, JPA, let's see, 9, 8, 7. Number 6 is going to be US Gold 100 Clean. That's kind of cool. US Gold 100 Clean. I'm still using that same Mesa Boogie Standard 412. That's a pretty cool sound. And then let's see, if you were to go over to the Marshall cabinet, the 1960A and 60B, okay. Mesa, Soldano, thick, real thick, so that we would want to probably get a different tone type out of the gain. So once you find a cabinet you kind of like, you find a gain that you like. And then you get the other one. Line 6. There's a line 6 cabinet, a 110. Dual rectifier. GH dual rectifier. Fender Pro Junior. Fender Princeton 2. Fender Princeton 2. Fender Pro Princeton. And then nothing. Yeah, wouldn't use that into the straights. So there's the Pro Princeton and then the Princeton 2. So you can hear the IR cabinet is really a filter and a EQ kind of a setting. I was really digging that Cali JP. So the Mesa Boogie and this Cali JPA. It's a pretty decent little sound. Just a touch of delay, see? As opposed to a little reverb. So you see, you touch the knob on the reverb, and it'll turn the light on once you bring it up to the mix level. And then you can bring it in. I don't think it needs much reverb at all. Like just a little bit gives you a little tight. Not necessarily an impressive sounding reverb, but throw in a little delay. Bring that reverb down. Like, let's say we turn this mod a little to the right, we get phaser. And it's either like a little or a lot. Nah, I wouldn't go that far, especially with that sound. And then you get your chorus. Bring that gain down just a... Clean it up. So chorus, and that bringing on that chorus tends to drop the volume a lot. So then you would compensate if this was going to be a clean patch with the chorus. So throw that in a backpack with a little wireless setup, and it's not a bad little deal for $50. And some Bluetooth connectivity and headphone output that you can run to a mixer, or you can plug it into an amp through the main little output here. I'm going to try using the mixer out to 2 amps real quick. And turn off the IR. But, you get some sounds. You get usable sounds. I mean, in my head, I'm hearing somewhat decent, reasonably close approximations of what it's supposed to be. So there's kind of a cleaner distortion, and then as you go through the cabinets, you can even hear how the cabinets will respond a little better. So it's a lot of frequency shifts and then gone. So yeah, not a bad little setup. And then, if you were to save that, you wanted to save that to something, you could you would then hold it down for, I think, 2 seconds. Let's go ahead and I'll save this preset to number 2. I'll hold that down to 3 seconds, and it flashes. So now, if I hit the live preset buttons, both these two on the right, again like that, nothing's blinking, but you can see my lights are lit up there to show what I've kind of got going on. So right now, I'm just in that preset mode, and I can't really do much. I've locked myself out of the buttons. So it's a completely locked out little unit. You're not going to kick anything. If that's the exact sound you want, nothing, you can't really change it from there. And now you have, that's none of these lit up, just coming out of that preset modeling section. So here's where I've stored that sound. That sound is stored on number 2. If I went over to number 1, it's a different sound. And then number 3 would be a gain sound that I had stored earlier. So if I went back into that preset mode like this, it's going to take me back to where I was editing, right where I left off of editing, wherever the knobs were set at that point, or actually wherever they're set right now. So that's why it gets a little confusing. You if you decide you like a certain sound and you decide you want to save it, you may want to write down some notes, because you're not going to be able to go back and quickly and easily say, this was this cabinet and this was this type based on that. These knobs don't save their position unless you physically don't touch them between those preset switching modes. So you can't go to, like, say, number 1. Let's come out of this for a second. You can't go to number 1, patch number 1, and then go in there and start editing this bank. This patch. By doing that, I've actually gone back to where I was before. So, like, if I change some things and go around here, and I don't save that, and I go over to number 1. Whoop. Oh, good job, Dave. After knocking over the camera. Going back, as you can see, going back to, from the live preset section to that, and then back over to live preset. I've gone back to whatever I've changed. I've lost the sound that I kind of had. So I stored it here, fortunately, and I can kind of work with it. So now I know what I've got. With this sound, I have no idea what it was. I stored it. I didn't write anything down. But I could go in here and try to find that sound again, not by going into the live preset mode and editing it. But, that's not something I want to do right now. So there's the presets. That's all what they kind of generally vibe like. You get distortions, 9 different distortion models. You get 8 different IR models that you can save your own over. You can have, if you have your own IRs recorded or sampled, you could download, you can import them into the back here through the import. This camera probably won't focus too well, but on the back there's an import. I have not been able to make this record out work with the cable that they gave me, but the headphone out works great and this out works great. I don't know what's going on with that. I'll have to do a little bit more. And I did actually download their software. It's a Cube Baby software, so you can I can mess around if you guys want to hear that. If you're really into IRs, you probably are not using this, though. But if it's something that you want to kind of mess with and you're like, oh, I'm really close with that sound, I just need to tweak it just a little bit, you could throw your own in there and erase what's in there. So that's the thing. It doesn't really have a lot of the instinctive features that the GT has. Now on the surface, this looks like it has a lot less to offer. But for another $200, $50 here, $250 for this, you get a really nice software editing suite. You get a lot more control over YouTube, integrated YouTube. You get Bluetooth functionality as well. You get Bluetooth in here. That's a $5 chip. Here's a $5 Bluetooth dongle. You want to turn almost any amp with an aux input into Bluetooth? There, you get that from the $5 store. So don't buy one of these because of that. It's an added bonus. But if you really want good sounds and you want to go out and actually use your headphones for things, or you get some recordings, I highly recommend the GT. If you're looking to just kind of get some of that functionality, but then you also want to be able to throw it into an amplifier or in front of an amplifier or into a couple of returns in a situation like I'm going to try to mess with here, I'm going to send this into the headphone section into 2 amps right now, and I'm going to do it wirelessly. Right here, I've got that stereo wireless Getaria. That is the receiver, and then I've got this here Getaria stereo wireless transmitter. So I'm going to, with a little adapter, I'm going to plug this in right here. This will make noise, of course. So now I should be able to go from here. Where are we here? I should be able to turn this little guy on and pair wirelessly from here over to here. And I've got a video that I've filmed certain segments on this Getaria stereo transmitter. So that'll be the second follow-up video to that unboxing. But now I'm sending, see, I'm connected here, nothing blinking, everything's good. I'm sending wirelessly guitar into here and out of here now over to 2 amps. So I'm going to turn on my amps real quick and get some of those sounds. Okay, so coming out of the stereo headphone, you could run it into like almost anything that has an aux input, like this little JBL Bluetooth speaker that also has a wired input. You run it into some monitors, you know, if you wanted to do it that way and use the IRs. Right now, I've turned the IR off. The green light is off because I have it plugged into two Laneys, two 20-watt Lionhearts, going into a couple of different cabinets here. And so that sound without anything. I'm gonna turn my mic down here in a second, but just so you can hear the sound by itself with no room mic. We're going to start with gain type number 1, US Gold 50B, and the tone type is surd. It's surd, S-U-R-D, if you can see that. Somebody please let me know what surd is. There's the amp. And there's that. All right, volume's going down. That's number 1. I'm going to click through each one of them. So, sitting here messing around, I kind of have found something I like. What are we looking at? 9, 8, 7, 6. Number 6 on the gains. Is that US Gold 100? Yeah, I kind of like that. At least through the headphones. Boy, it's noisy. I'm going to put on humbucker guitar real quick. This doesn't seem to have a very hyperly active built-in gate, but it does seem to quiet down a little when you do a couple of things, like bring your volume down, or I can hear it kind of ducking in and out sometimes. It's interesting, you know, on the noise floor. So I've kind of come up with a sound. I'm going to go ahead and bring in a little bit of delay and maybe mess around with the phaser and the reverb just a little bit on this final sound that I'm messing around with. It's stereo into 2 amps, not really true stereo because no panning and nothing like that, but it's at least properly sending to 2 amps. I got the smallest little wireless pedal board I've ever seen in my life. I could literally put that down in front of me and transmit over to a couple of amplifiers and gig, you know, with that. So, all right, I'm going to turn the mic volume down and just kind of mess around with this a little bit here. And yeah, thanks for hanging out and checking out the testing. This has been kind of cool. I know I should do a wire. I should take a wire and plug this into one of the amps too. So at the very end of this, if you keep on watching, you'll see me throw a wire into it, and I'm going to just go into one amp and I'll center it back up. I'll go completely wired. I'll take the wireless all out of the scenario real quick. Okay, I'm wired in, out of the guitar, straight into Getaria. So yeah, long story short, that's a combo meal in a pedal kit. That's some gains, 9 gains, and phaser chorus that makes it quieter. So if you're going to use that chorus, you got to plan on that. I would save that as a preset. If you're going to use the chorus, save that as a preset, and then save the volume on that preset as louder. And then you got delay. Not a terrible sounding delay, and a reverb. I mean, it's like a McDonald's meal in that sense. You're kind of getting what you paid for. You're going to get a few things. It's going to be a little bit cheaper than buying it anywhere else. And if you buy it from there, you're going to get even more for less if you buy a little bit more. So, hey, it is what it is with this thing, it seems like. But I like it. I don't have any real problems with it. Some of the tones I wouldn't use, but a couple of them that I've messed with, I definitely would. I would like to take this to a practice and just use it. I'd probably need a wah. I definitely would need other things if we were going to do certain songs, but to just get through a basic set, gain, delay, and reverb kind of thing, you could kind of set that up with 3 different sounds and then your amp sound. And if you have channel switching amp, then yeah, even more power. You could do the headphone out and send it to 2 amps if you really want to get crazy with it. You get crazy like I did and do a whole little mini stereo wireless, the world's smallest stereo wireless pedal board, right? And go to like my Orange Rocker 32. And there's a quick and easy solution to gig with. And even if it's not the Getaria, there's plenty of other ones out there. Even ones that are called a Cube Baby, it turns out. But that's that in a nutshell. It's a cool little device for that money. I wouldn't pay much more. I honestly wouldn't pay much more for that. But for $40 to $50, I'd buy that. That's great. I did buy it. And I'm not going to return it. And I actually, like I said, got a second one. I really don't know what to do with that second one. I kind of want to give it away, like as a subscriber thing, but I don't know how to do a giveaway on YouTube. I've seen them done before. And it also seems hokey. Like I only have like 500 subs, but maybe I should celebrate that. And I don't even think I'm at 500 subs, but maybe by the time this video comes out, I'll be at 500 subs. So I'm going to keep that second one. I'm not going to return it. I'm going to go ahead and take the Amazon return hit and pay the price for the second one. I'm going to figure it out. If you guys leave me a comment and you actually would like one of these, and I could figure out how to do a giveaway, then this would be the thing to give away, clearly, because I got 2 of them now, and you guys have watched the video this long. So leave me a comment below and let me know if you would like this. If so, then I will consider doing a giveaway for it. I just don't want to sound cheesy. Let me know if it's just cheesy and hokey. I won't even ever bring it up again. But that's it, the Getaria Cube Baby. IR loading, Bluetooth, multi, combined effects pedal, baby, from Getaria. That guy right here. It's pretty cool. I mean, you know, I'm having fun with it wirelessly too, nonetheless. Thanks for hanging out. Sub, like, share, do all that. Take care.